for this position. And this position, Secretary of Defense, is the position that I view and many Virginians view as the most important cabinet post. Let me review the reasons for my opposition. First, Mr. Hegseth's record of erratic, unprofessional, and troubling behavior. Mr. Hegseth was married twice before he is married to his current wife, his third wife. And in the first two marriages, there were allegations in both of serious and multiple infidelities. I asked him at the hearing when he appeared before us whether he took an oath of fidelity to his spouses, and of course he did, in the same way that a Secretary of Defense will take an oath to uphold the Constitution of the United States. But the evidence that was before us, the public record that was before us, is very, very troubling. In Mr. Hegseth's first marriage, there were public reports that he was unfaithful to his wife at least 5 different times with multiple other people. He never rebutted that, and because he wouldn't meet with members of the committee on the Democratic side, we didn't get a chance to talk about that in a closed setting, which would have been most important. In his second marriage, he was married, and while married, fathered a child by a woman who would become his third wife in August of 2017. So he was still married to wife number 2 and cheated on her with the woman who would bear his child and become wife number 3. But in a very shocking way to me, within 2 months after the birth of this child, he was at a Republican political event at a hotel in Monterey, California, and cheated on both his second wife and the mother of this newborn in an incident that led to a sexual assault criminal investigation. This behavior, look, people are people. People make mistakes. But a first marriage breaking up over serial infidelity and then a second marriage also bedeviled by serial infidelity is something that has to call up questions about an individual's judgment. Mr. Hegseth has been the leader of 2 nonprofit organizations that are veteran service organizations. In one of the organizations, Concerned Veterans for America, during the time he was the CEO, an employee of the organization wrote a scathing report about Mr. Hegseth creating a toxic work culture in this environment where impairment by alcohol was not only exhibited by him but tolerated in others, and where there was a significant creation of a toxic work environment for women employees. The committee members have had access to a report that was not done because he was nominated for Secretary of Defense. This was a report that was done by employees and given to the leaders of this organization at the time, now nearly 10 years ago, with about 35 names of employees and individuals in the organization with knowledge of the facts and recitation of event after event after event where people were treated unfairly, women were made to feel that they were second class in the organization, and alcohol abuse was common in workplace events. I referenced a sexual assault claim in Monterey, and I will call it an undisclosed sexual assault claim because Mr. Hegseth never told the Trump transition team about this event when he was being considered and vetted to be Secretary of Defense. Again, he's married to wife 2. He's now fathered a child by a woman being unfaithful in that wedding, and within 2 months after fathering the child, he goes to an event in Monterey, California, gets a woman at the event into his hotel room, has sex with her. She claims she was drugged and raped and filed a criminal complaint about it with local law enforcement within days after the event. He admits the event. He says it was consensual, not a sexual assault or rape, consensual, but he acknowledges that it occurred. What then happened? The survivor went to local law enforcement, filed a sexual assault claim. The claim was investigated over a period of time. The prosecutor ultimately decided not to pursue criminal charges against Mr. Hegseth. But there was a civil claim as well that later led to a settlement with the victim, payment of cash to the victim, and the entrance into a non-disclosure agreement with the victim. None of this was disclosed to the Trump team as they were examining Mr. Hegseth to be Secretary of Defense. He didn't disclose the event. He didn't disclose the criminal sexual assault claim. He didn't disclose the fact of an investigation. He didn't disclose the civil claim. He didn't disclose the settlement. He didn't disclose the cash payment. He didn't disclose the non-disclosure agreement. He hid all of it from the Trump transition team. And when I asked him why, he didn't really have an answer. And I told him, I know the reason why. You were worried that if you told them about this, they would not nominate you to be Secretary of Defense. The relationship between a Secretary of Defense and a president is a very important relationship that demands complete candor. There's always some challenge. There's always something at the Pentagon that might be going wrong. Mr. Hegseth demonstrated at a very critical moment that he would not let the president-elect know about this fact because he wanted to advance himself, and he worried that if he was candid, it would cause problems for him. I don't want a Secretary of Defense who is unwilling to be candid with the Commander-in-Chief. And he's already demonstrated grave reason to doubt whether he will be candid by refusing to disclose the reality of this sexual assault allegation in Monterey. An affidavit was filed yesterday by one Danielle Hegseth, the former sister-in-law of the nominee, revealing publicly facts suggesting spousal abuse in Mr. Hegseth's second marriage. I don't know Danielle Hegseth. I haven't talked to her. I was not aware of that allegation, but it didn't surprise anyone on the committee who had reviewed the record. Why not? Because there are already facts in the record raising this very question. In fact, I asked Mr. Hegseth about it at the Armed Services Committee. During his second divorce, his own mother wrote him a letter saying, essentially, you are a serial abuser of women, including your own two wives, and you need to look in the mirror, get some help, and figure this out. His mother even used the phrase, neither X nor Y, the names of the first two wives, deserve the treatment they have received at your hand. All the committee members had access to that before the hearing. All of them. What an extraordinary letter. Your mother writing you a letter saying you're a serial abuser of women that needs to look in the mirror and get help, and saying that the two wives that you have abused do not deserve the treatment they have received at your hand. And so the allegation from Danielle Hegseth yesterday, reporting her observations of Mr. Hegseth's behavior, and in particular abuse of her sister-in-law, have to be given some credence by this committee. And we have to avoid a rush that we may regret. I found it very unusual that when I asked Mr. Hegseth at the hearing, a sexual assault would be disqualifying to be Secretary of Defense, he would not agree with me. Spousal abuse would be disqualifying to be a Secretary of Defense, he would not agree with me. Being impaired by alcohol while on the job would be disqualifying to be Secretary of Defense, he would not agree with me. These are not hard questions. They are clearly disqualifying behaviors, and the fact that he would not agree that they were disqualifying behaviors suggested to me as I was watching that testimony that they evinced a little bit of a guilty conscience. Why would I want to agree if I have concerns about my own behavior? What has been Mr. Hegseth's response to allegations of infidelity demonstrating poor judgment, creation of a toxic work culture, alcohol impairment while at work, this undisclosed sexual assault claim, the allegations of spousal abuse. What has his response been? His response has been twofold. Complete denial. Complete denial, with the exception of acknowledging that, yes, he did cheat on his wife and the mother of a newborn child in Monterey, California in September 2017. He has denied everything else, even though the record is replete with specific instances at specific times with specific individuals attesting to these behaviors. His other defense is to claim that all of this, all of it, is an anonymous smear. An anonymous smear. Let me tell my colleagues, this is anything but anonymous. When your own mother writes you a letter saying you are a serial abuser of women, including your two wives, and they don't deserve the treatment they have received at your hand, that is not anonymous. The report of the whistleblower at the Concerned Veterans of America organization a decade ago, anything but anonymous. The report listed, I counted them, incidents involving 36 named individuals who had been either participating in, victimized by, witnessing, or aware of the incidents described in the document. This is not anonymous. Danielle Hegseth's public affidavit is not anonymous. The one thing that I will acknowledge that's in the anonymous space is this: the number of individuals who have come forward and shared with me and other members of the committee their own firsthand knowledge of similar events, but said, you can't use my name because I'm so afraid. I'm afraid of what Mr. Hegseth would do. I'm afraid of what the president might do. I had someone say to me when I said, you needn't be afraid, that's easy for you to say. That's easy for you to say. If the building, the U.S. Capitol where you work, could be attacked by people when it was well fortified and secured, what chance would I have if someone didn't like the fact that I publicly criticized this nominee? So yes, there are some who are speaking to us who are asking for anonymity, and that, if they've asked for it, they should be provided it. But there are many who have spoken either directly via affidavit or in records that are available to all committee members and all senators who are anything but anonymous. And I would urge my colleagues, and not just the Armed Services Committee members, to go and read the documents that are available to you before you cast your vote, set your feet in stone about a nominee. You should see these documents. I want to go back to one point that I made that I think is telling, and that is Mr. Hegseth's refusal to disclose these facts to the Trump transition team. I mean, it's one thing to not disclose them to the committee. It's one thing to refuse to meet with members of the committee. I'll get to that in a second. But when the president-elect, who's going to be the commander-in-chief, is vetting you for the most important cabinet position in the United States, and you know you have been charged with a sexual assault that led to a criminal investigation, a civil settlement, a cash payment, a non-disclosure agreement, and you choose not to reveal it to the president, in my view, that in and of itself should be disqualifying. The level of disrespect that that shows for the president-elect, in my view, should be disqualifying. Let me conclude with a couple of other points. The main point is the pattern of behavior, which should make anyone wary to vote for Mr. Hegseth for Secretary of Defense. But a couple of other points I want to mention. Mr. Hegseth, I think, sort of set a very unfortunate precedent. I have been on the Armed Services Committee. I sit side by side with my colleague, Senator King, on that committee since we came to the Senate in January of 2013. I have now participated in confirmation hearings for about 5 Secretaries of Defense, both Democratic and Republican nominees. Mr. Hegseth is the only one that refused to meet with Democratic members of the committee, save for the chairman, Jack Reed. He met with the Republican committee members, but all of us were trying to set meetings with him, as has been our norm, so that we could talk to him about these issues and ask him questions privately in our office. Some of these matters are, frankly, probably better for private discussion than. Response has been twofold. Complete denial. Complete denial, with the exception of acknowledging that, yes, he did cheat on his wife and the mother of a newborn child in Monterey, California in September 2017. He has denied everything else, even though the record is replete with specific instances at specific times with specific individuals attesting to these behaviors. His other defense is to claim that all of this, all of it, is an anonymous smear. An anonymous smear. Let me tell my colleagues, this is anything but anonymous. When your own mother writes you a letter saying you are a serial abuser of women, including your 2 wives, and they don't deserve the treatment they have received at your hand, that is not anonymous. The report of the whistleblower at the Concerned Veterans of America organization a decade ago, anything but anonymous. The report listed, I counted them, incidents involving 36 named individuals who had been either participating in, victimized by, witnessing, or aware of the incidents described in the document. This is not anonymous. Danielle Hegseth's public affidavit is not anonymous. The one thing that I will acknowledge that's in the anonymous space is this: the number of individuals who have come forward and shared with me and other members of the committee their own firsthand knowledge of similar events, but said, you can't use my name because I'm so afraid. I'm afraid of what Mr. Hegseth would do. I'm afraid of what the president might do. I had someone say to me when I said, you needn't be afraid, that's easy for you to say. That's easy for you to say. If the building, the U.S. Capitol where you work, could be attacked by people when it was well fortified and secured, what chance would I have if someone didn't like the fact that I publicly criticized this nominee? So yes, there are some who are speaking to us who are asking for anonymity, and that, if they've asked for it, they should be provided it. But there are many who have spoken either directly via affidavit or in records that are available to all committee members and all senators who are anything but anonymous. And I would urge my colleagues, and not just the Armed Services Committee members, to go and read the documents that are available to you before you cast your vote, set your feet in stone about a nominee. You should see these documents. I want to go back to one point that I made that I think is telling, and that is Mr. Hegseth's refusal to disclose these facts to the Trump transition team. I mean, it's one thing to not disclose them to the committee. It's one thing to refuse to meet with members of the committee. I'll get to that in a second. But when the president-elect, who's going to be the commander-in-chief, is vetting you for the most important cabinet position in the United States, and you know you have been charged with a sexual assault that led to a criminal investigation, a civil settlement, a cash payment, a non-disclosure agreement, and you choose not to reveal it to the president, in my view, that in and of itself should be disqualifying. The level of disrespect that that shows for the president-elect, in my view, should be disqualifying. Let me conclude with a couple of other points. The main point is the pattern of behavior, which should make anyone wary to vote for Mr. Hegseth for Secretary of Defense. But a couple of other points I want to mention. Mr. Hegseth, I think, sort of set a very unfortunate precedent. I have been on the Armed Services Committee. I sit side by side with my colleague, Senator King, on that committee since we came to the Senate in January of 2013. I have now participated in confirmation hearings for about 5 Secretaries of Defense, both Democratic and Republican nominees. Mr. Hegseth is the only one that refused to meet with Democratic members of the committee, save for the chairman, Jack Reed. He met with the Republican committee members, But all of us were trying to set meetings with him, as has been our norm, so that we could talk to him about these issues and ask him questions privately in our office. Some of these matters are frankly probably better for private discussion than half work product and say, okay, that's great, let's just rush to confirm somebody. We shouldn't be confirming a person on an insufficient background check if they didn't have all of these acknowledged problems that are part of the public record. But when they are part of the public record, when the FBI finds out that, wow, you didn't tell the transition team about the sexual assault claim, the investigation should be thorough, not mediocre and cursory. And so, Mr. President, I'm going to conclude and just say this may not be the last time I appear on the floor to speak on this nomination. But for now, my request of my colleagues is a simple one. Why rush? Why rush? Why would we rush to put through a nomination for a position of this importance that is freighted with so much baggage and so much evidence of glaring character and judgment errors? Do we want to have egg on our face? Do we want to rush and have this blow up later? Do we want to rush and then have other witnesses come out as Danielle Hegseth did yesterday? Is that what the Senate's advise and consent process, mandated by the Constitution for a very important reason, has come to? Cursory investigation that doesn't get to the underlying facts, even when they're sitting right out there before us, and we're going to rush to confirm someone? For what reason? And so, Mr. President, as I sit down, I'll just conclude with that question. Why rush this? Let's take the time, and when we cast a vote on confirmation, cast it with the confidence that we have complete information about the man who's been nominated to be our Secretary of Defense. I yield the floor and note the absence of a quorum.